Hey hi everyone, this is Mukesh Utwani once again from learn-automation.com. Today in this video, we are going to talk about how you can handle the select dropdown in Selenium Webdriver with Python. Okay, so we have a different kind of dropdown when you start working with web applications. So we have select dropdowns, which is like traditional HTML dropdowns. We also have Bootstrap dropdown. We also have AngularJS dropdown. We also have many different kind of dropdowns which is coming in the market because of the latest framework. So as of now in this video we will only talk about the dropdowns which have the select tag, and in the upcoming videos we will also talk about the dropdowns which does not have the select tag. Okay, so it's going to be very easy and very interesting because I have very different scenarios and very good examples. So watch the video till the end because we are going to cover so many things from this lecture. So let me get started with again plain Python file. We'll write everything from scratch and I will say handle dropdown. So this is what the Python file we are creating, and now let's simply create our WebDriver instance. So as usual I will say from Selenium let's import WebDriver and just import WebDriver and say WebDriver.chrome. Now in order to start with Chrome, you can directly pass the Chrome driver path, or you can use the service class. So I'm going to use service class, which is now recommended from Selenium 4. So again I will say selenium.webdriver. Since we are working with Chrome, I will take Chrome and I'm going to use service class now. And we need to create object here. So I will simply create object of service class, and here I am going to provide the Chrome driver. So I already have a Chrome driver in this directory, so I'm just going to copy paste, and now I will simply type service equal to s. This is the object that we created. We will be getting now WebDriver reference, right? Now let's get started with the application which we want to automate. So guys, again you can take any application which has the drop down. So what I will do, I will start Facebook now because Facebook also have the drop downs. So just type facebook.com, and the moment you click on create new account, you can see we have three drop down, right? We have this as a date, this is a month, and this is a year. So let's say I want to automate any of this drop down. So let's take this year, okay, or let's take this one because this has some different values. So you can see this is a select tag, right? And if you open the select tag, you will see we have options. So these options are nothing but the actual options which is getting displayed here, right, on the UI. So you can see this is month, Jan, Feb till the December. Right now, the moment I'm recording, it is selecting October because that is the current month. As the month changes, it will simply change to the next month, or depends on which month you are automating this application. So let's say I just want to select some month, let's say March, or let's say August here, because by default is October. So let's take few other options. So as you can, since it's a select tag, we have a dedicated class in Selenium which will take care of the drop downs. Okay, so in order to get this page, first of all I need to click on create new account button, right? So let's do one thing, let's click on this particular button, and if you notice guys, right now we have a role attribute, we have a class which have a hyperlink. So right now we only have ID which we can rely, but again if you see, this also includes some digits. So as I keep mentioning, if your IDs include some digits or some numbers, kindly ignore, or maybe you can write some XPath here, but here I cannot find any proper ID which I can rely. So if I simply open this, I can see there's a text called create new account. So I can use this text and I'm going to write XPath. I will say find an anchor link which has a text equal to create new account. As you can see, it is showing 1 of 1. So let me take this and let me start with working with these. So I will say driver dot find element. Now we need by class as well, so we need to import by class. So how do you import? Simple, say selenium dot webdriver dot common dot by, and let's import the by class. So I'm going to use the by class now. So I will say by dot XPath, and after comma I'm just going to give the XPath value, and I will simply do a click method. After opening the browser, I will simply maximize so that you will get a better clarity. So I will say maximize window, and in the get method we need to provide the URL. So let's quickly pass the URL, and now here comes the main part. If I need to deal with this drop downs, I need a select class. So how do I get the select class? First of all, you need to import the select class. How do we import? So this is the package that you need to traverse, Selenium.WebDriver. Now if you see, we also have a support here, right? So you can see till now we have used Chrome, we also have used common, right? Now I'm going to use a support, and here you will see we have a select. So let's import the select class. Okay, I will show you the select class. I will just show you the internal documentation as well. Just give me a minute. Now once you click on this account, you will get this window. So your first approach should be, you need to find this web element, okay, which is date, month. So we are working with month as of now. So you can see I have an area label, name, ID, title. I can use any of this because they all looks promising. So let me take this ID, which is month. Now I will first find this element, driver dot find element by ID, and this is the ID, right? Now I'm not going to do type or click anything. It is just I need to find this web element. So I will store this in a month variable. So what exactly this is a month? This is nothing but a web element, right? Now we have imported the select class, so we need to create object of it. So I will say month dd equal to select. So you can see this is how I'm going to create object of select class, but here's a small catch. Now if you simply put mouse over, you can see it is expecting a web element, right? Because you need to tell that this drop down is going to, or this object which is month drop down is going to work with date or month or year, right? So this is our web element. So I just need to provide this month web element inside select class constructor, right? So if you simply open this select class, so put mouse over and just see, you can see this is a select class, and within the constructor it is expecting a web element. And very important part here guys, element select element to wrap. So what exactly it means, I will show you. It simply says it is only expecting a web element which is coming under select tag. Okay, if it is any other tag which you are passing, so it is going to throw you one exception which is called unexpected tag name exception, and this is the warning you will be getting, or I will say error message called select only work with this. So you can see here they internally they are checking whatever web element will pass, they will capture the tag name and they will check if it is equal to select. If it's it is not equal to select, then only it is going to raise this. Okay, so let me show you this. So first of all, I will show you one happy scenario, then I will show you that exception, because many times if you are completely new to Selenium, or if you're a beginner, you might make this mistake and you might get this exception very often. So I will show you that as well, don't worry. So as of now, just 2 steps. First, find that particular web element, then create object of select class, pass the web element. Now once you get this object which is select class object, you can simply put a dot operator, and you can see now we have different methods here. Can you see? So these are the methods we have. So it says select by value, select by index, and select by visible text. So these are the 3 direct methods which we have, which will help you to select the values, and exactly same methods we have for deselecting as well. So as you can see, we have deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect by visible text. So right now we are going to focus only on these 3, because right now the example which I am showing you, it has only single select drop down, right? So if I have to select some other thing, I can simply call another select method I can use. I don't have to call deselect. So let me show you these 3, and I will show you which one you have to go for. We also have get all selected option and first selected options. So that also I will show you. So as of now, let's focus on these select methods. So let's take the first one. As the name says, it is going to select whenever you have a value. Sorry, whenever you have provide any index, it is going to select that value. Now what does it mean? So you can see this, right? So this is actually our drop down, and as we know, index always start from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So let's say if I want to select March, I have to say 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I simply provide the index here, it is going to select March here. Okay, so maybe I will just keep a note that it is going to select March. Now if I give any other index, definitely it will select that particular index. So this is very straightforward. Next is select by value. Now what exactly is value? Okay, so many people get confused that when we say value means this one which is coming on the screen. So it is no. The moment we say select by value, it is going to refer this value. You can see after option we have an attribute called value. So let's say if I want to select June, so I have to provide value is 6. So let's say if I simply provide 6, and you need to provide this in double quotes, guys, because when we say value, it is expecting in a string. So again, whether you pass single quote or double quotes, Python will consider as a string. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So when you say select 6, 6 is going to deal with June, or it is going to select June from the drop down. Very easy, right? Now the last method which I want to show you, it is actually which I personally prefer, and if you follow other YouTubers as well or any other trainers, they will also recommend you that always go with the visible text. Okay, so let's say right now we are in October. Let me select August. So again I will say month dropdown dot select by visible text, right? So as the name says visible text, whatever visible text is there on the screen, you simply provide here. Okay, and it will select. So if I simply provide August, it will select. Now again, a small disclaimer here that this is case sensitive. It means even if you give small AUG, it will not work. Okay, so make sure you are giving the proper value which is available on the screen. So it is going to select August. Now what I am doing, I'm just calling the same method. I'm calling 3 different methods on the same web element. Is it possible? Yes, why not? It is just these values will select very fast, right? Because immediately I'm calling index value and visible text. So I need to provide a small wait so that you can see. So now I'm going to import a time. Okay, so I'm going to import a time module, and let me just give some time that after selecting March, I will say time dot sleep. Okay, and I'm going to give sleep of 3 seconds because 3 seconds is enough to notice. And same thing I will do after selecting August as well, June. Okay, so first it will select March, wait for 3 seconds, select June, again wait for 3 seconds, and last August. Now I just need to add one more statement, which I will actually tell you why we are doing this. Okay, so the moment you click on create new account, it takes, if you notice, 2 seconds or 1 second to come up this window, right? Since we haven't discussed about the wait, so after clicking on this create new account, I'm just going to give again 3 seconds of sleep so that we should not get failure. Once we move, we will talk about implicit wait, then you don't have to give this time dot sleep. Right now, if I simply run, just notice the output. So it has maximized. It will open Facebook, click on that. First of all, you will see it is going to select March. After 3 seconds, you will see it is selecting June. At last, it will select August. Perfect. Very easy. Now, if you ask me what I personally prefer, okay, so when it comes to priority, always give priority to visible text. Okay, so this I will keep on the first priority. In case if you still want to try some other thing, go with select by value. At last, go with the index. Okay, because index is very dynamic in nature. For example, right now we cannot add any month here, right? Because months are fixed. But let's say you have some country drop down where your application is adding multiple countries or removing countries. So definitely this index might change. But when it comes to visible text or value, chances are less that And visible text is very like quite obvious. They will not be changing the country names or maybe product name, right? In case your application is going through major changes, definitely you need to adopt a script. So first priority, second priority, third priority. Now this is what about selecting. Now let's talk about some other methods as well, which is very useful again. The moment I say month drop down, you will also see one option called options, right? Now, okay, before I show you this list part, let me do a small change here. That this is actually our web element, right? Sorry, this one, month drop down. So this is a web element of select tag. Now let me do one thing. Let me simply give some ID. Okay, and let's say, okay, let's take this one. Okay, I'm taking this first name as example, and just hold on, I will tell you what exactly I'm trying to achieve here. And this is actually a name, right? So I will say by dot name. Let me do one thing. Let me comment this out and let me make another statement, and I will uncomment this one. This time I will say by dot name. And what is the name here? Name is first name. So guys, just notice one thing, that I'm going to select a web element which is actually a valid one, but it is not a select, right? It has a tag called input. The moment I pass the same web element here, now it is going to throw an exception. Okay, so let's run this and analyze the output. Okay, just notice here, and here we go. Can you see? It simply says unexpected tag name exception. And if you just see this message carefully, this is the same message which I showed you, that select only works with select web elements, not on the input. So can you see the smartness of Selenium? They identify that you are trying to use input, but this is going to only work when you use select tag. So if you're getting this exception, then just look into your web element. If it is not a select, it is not going to work with select class. Okay, so I will just uncomment the older one, and now it should work. Now let me do one thing. Let me show you that in case if we want to retrieve all this value, how can we do that? Right now I'm selecting a value, right? But what if I have a scenario where I need to first of all check that how many values are present, which values are present, and whether a specific value is present or not. So I will just not change this. I will just create a separate copy. So I will just say Control C, Control V, and this I will make it handle dropdown 2. And let's make the changes here. Okay, so this is going to be same, right? Now this is also going to be same. Now I will remove these things. Okay, select also we need. So we need object of select class. So this I will not remove. Now guys, please pay attention because this is very, very important. So let's say I just want to check how many values we have. The moment I call options, so you can see this is property. What exactly it is going to return? Now it is going to return you number of web elements. As you can see, find elements, it means it is going to return a list of all the options which belongs to select tag. So if I show you the example now, so this is going to return a list. So I will store this into a list variable. You can give L, or I will say my list, or maybe drop down list. So let's say if you want to see how many values we have, so let me do a print statement and let me call a length function. Here I will pass dd list. It means inside this list how many values we have, it is going to print. Now I want to iterate because our task is not only to get the length. Let's say I want to print all the values. So now this is an iterable object, right? So we can iterate this values using for loop. So I'm just going to use for, and let's say I just want to use x variable or abc xyz, whatever you wish. Let me take this as value, or let's take ele, which is element in. Now we need the list, right? So I will pass the dd list. So what exactly this for loop will do, it will take the first element from this list, it is going to store into ELE. Now ELE, I will just take the text because I just want to print the values which is coming in a list or which is coming from the list. In case if you want some other text, I will say value is, and then it is going to give me text. Now let's see, right click, run. Okay, so let's just wait for the output, and here we go. So can you see we got the values? So first of all, it is giving you 13 because 12 months, one additional value which is coming month, so total count is coming 13, and these are the values which is coming from that particular list, right? Perfect. So let's say if you want to put assert as well, you can put assert that I'm expecting 13 because total I'm expecting 13, and from where I'm expecting, let's say I'm expecting from this DD list. If the count which is coming from the list is equal to 13, then it is going to pass. Perfect. And let's say instead of printing, I just want to add a condition here that if, like, keep on iterating, the moment it will reach till December, it has to select December. So what I will do, I will write a small if condition, and I will say if ele.text is, let's say, equal to December, then click on it. This is also one of the way to click on a particular option from the drop down, that I'm going to iterate all these values. The moment it reaches till December, or if it is equal to December, it is going to click, and then I'm going to use a break, then it will come out of this. Now right now I am just selecting the last value, so definitely we don't have any other value. So let's take November so that you will understand that after selecting November, we are calling break, so it is not going to give me December. Okay, so let me make it November. Let's run it once again. So you can see it's very interesting, guys. It is just, you need to understand how the list works. So if you have seen my previous videos where we discussed about the list, it's going to be very easy. Clicked here. Okay, so you can see it selected November. And why it selected November? Because here we have given an option that keep me giving me the value. So you can see we got the values, right? The moment it reaches till November, so now this condition is getting satisfied. It is clicking on November option and it is breaking. So you can see we are not getting the December value, right? Perfect. So just keep this point in mind, and this is what the length one. Now let me show you one more, the method which is quite useful. So let's say I just want to cross verify that what is the default value is coming before selecting any value. So let's say create new account. So you can see right now it's showing October. I just want to cross verify whether October is coming by default or not. So how do I get this default selected option? So you can see at the time of recording this session, 16th October 2020. So it is giving me current date, month and year. I just want to cross verify what is the default value. So I will say this is my month drop down, right? I will simply say, okay, just if you just keep, okay, just scroll down and you can see we have first selected option, which simply says whatever the first selected option is there, let me just return it. So it is going to return the first, I will say, item or web element. Now this is actually a web element, guys. So in case if you want to capture the text, you can simply say first option is, this is our first item, right? Simply call text. So let me put a assert as well because I want to finally assert, right? So I will say assert, we are expecting October, right? Assert October equal to first item dot text. Okay, so if it is equal to, definitely it will pass. In case there's no match, it is going to fail. Guys, again, right now I'm just giving October, but for you the use case might be different. Let's say if you're operating from India, or let's say you're operating from US, UK, and you want that default country name should be India or default country name should be USA, right? So this kind of assertion you can keep. Just get the first selector option, capture the text, and you should be able to get the values. Then you can put assert. So just right click and run this script, and let's see the output. So as usual, it will do all the actions, create new account, and it should select number. And here we go. So now if I go back again, just expand this. So you can see, as usual, you can see the first option is now it is automatically saying October, and it is actually passing our test, because when we put assert, if assert is failed, it is going to throw assertion error. In our case, it is not failing, so it is going to run our next test or next step. So the count is 13, and these are the values, and this was our turning point. When we say value equal to number, select and break. Yes, so that's how you can work with Dropdown. So let me quickly give you a small replay what exactly we did. So we started with this Dropdown. We have imported one select class which is coming from this package. Then we created object of select class. This is how we create object. And while creating object in the constructor, you need to pass web element. Make sure this web element should have a select tag, otherwise you will be getting the exception which I already showed you. So we have discussed first select by index, select by value, select by visible text, which is going to select the value. We have similar method for deselecting as well. Okay. Now in the second program, we discussed first selected option, which will simply return you the first selected option as a web element. Now we are simply using a text which will capture the text, but you can do other operations as well. This is what we are asserting. Now in order to get all the values from the dropdown, we are calling options, which is going to return a list of web elements. So this is our list, which is dd list. So here first of all, I'm just taking the length, I'm printing. Then we are asserting that count should be 13, and in this particular for loop we are iterating this list one by one, which is going to store into ELE. So we are capturing the text and we are checking if while iterating, if value equal to number, click on it and then finally break. Okay, so this is all about select dropdown. In the next videos we will also talk about dropdowns which is not coming under select tag. Okay, I hope this was useful for you. So in case guys, if you are new to this channel, then make sure you subscribe this channel, hit the like button, and let me know if you find any issue in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.